Thank you for watching WISD TV and welcome to the library at Waco High School. We're going to talk jazz today with the director of the Waco High School Jazz Ensemble, that's Cameron Aiken, and one of the best jazz guitarists in the state of Texas, and that is Kurt Kranz. He's sitting right here. And first of all, Cameron, let's talk about the process. I know that Kurt, I just established the fact that he's among the top 3 jazz guitarists among high school players in the state. Talk about how he got there.
Yeah, so there's a process to make that jazz ensemble the all-state jazz band, and it's a 3-level process. So you prepare 3 pieces of written music and also 1 improvised piece of music that you just come off the top of your head, and you play that for a panel of 5 judges behind a black sheet of paper. And then if you make the top jazz ensemble, so the top region jazz ensemble, you get to tape additional audition for the all-state level. So what they do is they take you in a room, they record all of your etudes and your improv, and then they send that off to band directors all over the state of Texas. They listen to that material, and then they select the absolute best of the best. And this guy right here, he was fortunate enough to rank 3rd in the state of Texas. Incredible accomplishment. So
that's outstanding. Kurt, talk a little bit about your guitar playing. How long have you been playing the guitar?
I think I'm starting my 7th year this year. I really started picking it up in the 6th grade, and I've been playing ever since. So,
what was it that drew you to wanting to learn how to play the guitar?
Honestly, there's this game, it's called Guitar Hero, and I was playing that as a kid, and I was like, wow, this would be really neat if I could actually play these songs. So I just started playing guitar because of it.
Started playing guitar. Did you take private lessons at first?
Not at first. I was a self-taught guitarist for about 2.5 years, and then I started taking lessons that really focused on jazz rather than like the technical side of playing guitar.
Right. So basically you bought a book that told you how to play the chords, maybe a DVD here or there to help you along the way?
It was mostly internet and kind of like I just used my ear, but yeah, I just used whatever I could find to help me along the way.
Well, talk about your love for jazz now, because you said you started off not playing the guitar for jazz reasons and grew into being a jazz guitarist.
I'm going to attribute my love for jazz to 2 people. Mr. Aiken over here definitely got me playing because I'm in the jazz band, and also my private lesson teacher, Mr. Frazier, definitely one of my favorite people alive today. He's a wonderful guy. He's really passionate about jazz, and like everything he does is really jazz oriented, and I'm learning a lot about him and like learning a lot through him too. So
how about music in general? I know that you're involved in the marching band as well, aren't you?
Yes.
Your love for music, is that something that you grew up with? Is it part of your family?
It's not really part of my family. I'm kind of alone. My brother was in the band, but I don't think he's as into music as I am, but he does play a lot.
Mr. Aiken, talk about having a person the caliber of Kurt in your jazz band and the motivation it gives you as the director.
well, it's actually really neat because there's a lineage that goes back through Waco High School. I've been here 9 years, and over the years we just had stunning musicians just year after year after year, and you see them come up through the program and you see them grow, and then you see what happens to the other students when a kid like Kurt comes and just sets the world on fire. The kid sitting right next to him is like, wow, man, that guy can really play, and it just motivates him to play, and then it's just a ball that just keeps rolling, and once you get it rolling, man, it just takes off, and you can't help it. So,
well, I know we recently recorded a concert or a mini concert of your jazz orchestra, your jazz ensemble playing. Outstanding musicians again this year, and you like to join in with them every once in a while. Talk about your love for jazz.
Absolutely. It started really early. Started in middle school and went to a high school that was very accomplished in jazz. In fact, we weren't that good of a concert band, but we could play jazz. And so went to a university and got to play in the jazz band there. And then I got my first teaching gig, and I just wanted to create a jazz band. They didn't have a jazz band, so we created one and just kept it going. And it's one of those things that you just introduce it to the students, and it just spreads like wildfire. I don't have to do anything. I just show them jazz, and they just fall in love with it. So
I did not realize what you just said. When you moved here 9 years ago, Waco High did not have a jazz band?
Actually, I started at Robert E. Lee High School in Tyler, Texas. Okay. They didn't have a jazz ensemble. Then 2 years later, when I came here, they had a very, very small jazz band. It wasn't really established. I think it was a combo, maybe 6 kids. And so that's when we just poured it on. And after a couple of years, we had 3 jazz bands here at Waco High School. So.
And you also like to play around town. You're part of the jazz group here in Waco, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. The Waco Jazz Orchestra, I play both bass trombone, lead trombone, and sometimes I actually play trumpet in that group. And then there's also a really fantastic group down in Temple called the Temple Jazz Orchestra. I played bass trombone with them. They're stunning. So
great. And Kurt, how about anything besides guitar? Do you do other instruments, or is this it?
In terms of rhythm section, I feel like I'm a jack of all trades. I play the guitar, I play the bass guitar, I play the piano, I play the drum kit. So kind of whatever he needs, I'm able to do.
Great.
I'm actually going to speak on that for a second. So this young man, not only did he, get third in the state on jazz guitar, but this past weekend, Saturday, he traveled to the area auditions on percussion. And tell him all the instruments you have to play for that.
You have to play 3. You play a snare drum piece, you play a timpani piece, and then you play a marimba, which is a little wooden thing, and you play 2 pieces on that. So.
Now, you're like the marimba player. I mean, it's amazing to me, and I've seen you play before where you actually are holding 4 mallets. How do you do that?
It's hard at first, but once you just like kind of get the feel for it, it's just adding another mallet or 2. It's not too hard, but the beginning process is definitely hard.
You mentioned piano. Now, you take piano lessons too as a young kid?
No, I never took piano lessons. I just kind of, it goes hand in hand with guitar really, so it's pretty easy to pick up.
Right. All starts with chords and then improvises from there?
Yes.
Very good. Well, we're going to take a break from the interview and listen to some of the etudes, did you say?
Etudes.
Etudes.
Yeah.
Tell me what that means. I mean, is that
I think it's a French word for song or something like that. Okay. But yeah, he has to play 3 and then he has to improv a piece, which is just off the top of his head. So it's pretty difficult.
Great. Well, let's listen to Kurt Kranz play the guitar here. He is the 3rd best in the state, so enjoy. An outstanding job by Kurt Kranz. He is the 3rd best guitarist in the state of Texas, and we are here to congratulate him and honor him along with Cameron Aiken, his jazz band director here at the Waco High School. Kurt, let's talk about your future. You're a senior this year. What are your plans?
My plans, I'm either going to go to one of 2 colleges, the University of Illinois in Champaign or UT at Austin. And I'm gonna study, I think, electrical engineering. Electrical
engineering. You have the Illini shirt on right now.
Yeah.
And you were telling me off camera that you're not going to be a music major.
No, no plans for that.
But you are going to keep up playing the guitar, right?
Yeah, hopefully I'll never stop playing guitar.
So when you either go to UT or Illinois, You plan on trying to be a part of their jazz band there?
Yes.
Very good, very good. How about at home and the way your parents feel about the accomplishments in music you've been able to do during your high school years? Talk a little bit about their reaction.
They're ridiculously supportive, and they're really proud, and they just really try to help me every step along the way if I ever need it. They kind of just expect me to do well, and they kind of just send me off to do good things and stuff. Right. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
They pretty pleased with what you've been able to do here at Waco High School?
Oh yeah, they don't go a week without telling me how proud they are of my accomplishments and stuff.
Great. Cameron, this has to be a feather in your cap as well. Of course, there's been many feathers over the years as you've had these people come through your organization and through your band. But talk a little bit more just about having people the caliber of Kurt Kranz on your band.
It's just one of those things that you can't recreate or teach it or read it in a book or show a movie until you have a student like Kurt in your band. There's no other substitute for it. And so over the years, we've had students go to North Texas and just all over the state of Texas and be very, very successful. And he's just up in the level. It seems like every year we just have even more success. So.
Very good. Well, I want to congratulate you, and you too, Kurt, once again for being among the tops in the state at what you do. What a great accomplishment.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on this interview on WISD TV. Once again, we're at Waco High School, where there are learners today, leaders tomorrow.